Today's a trade recap on MNQ, and today's date is 3/25/2025. So I'm not really going to go into everything right now, but pretty much this trade was based off of obviously the higher time frame. My bias is bullish, and then from there, obviously we notice we were respecting this London high. So long story short, this is really just the power of three. That's why I took this trade here. So if we look right over here, this is, I actually forgot to mark this, but this is actually, I cannot remember what I was going to say there. I just drew a blank. Anyways, so idea of this trade setup was this here is a fair value gap on the higher time frame. I forgot which one it was. But anyways, long story short is, so what I want to talk about here is just risk management. So on this trade, I was risking 3 micros with a 26 point stop loss. So stop loss is about, I think it was $390 worth of stop. From there, what I did is I entered right on this fair value gap from over here. I've been starting to do this. I've been starting to trade off the 15-minute fair value gap, and it's been working amazingly. But anyways, what I did is entered here, and then from there, I was just targeting this liquidity for the first contract. So as soon as we got to this first little thing of liquidity right here, I took off the first micro. And then once we got up to this second thing of liquidity right here, which was also the 8:30 open, I took off a second micro there. And as soon as that happened, I moved my stop loss to break even just to mitigate all risk. And then right now I'm letting this last contract run, hoping to take out this buy side liquidity here. And that would then give me another, what is that? That would be 130 times 3. I should definitely do this in my head. What is that? 130 times 3. And that would then give me 390, currently locked in 430. So that would be an $820 day, literally just by trading micros and trading partials. And, if this trade ends up hitting this target, I'm going to win this account in literally only 2 days. Because yesterday was a $500 day. Today, if we hit this here and we don't go to break even, then we'll be 800. We'll only be 1,500 away from winning this account and getting another payout. So, yeah, that was today's trade review. I'll keep you posted and we'll see what happens. Hey, yeah, so this is Aaron here. I just want to show you guys this real quick. So, because I know sometimes it can seem like this is hindsight knowledge and I'm saying things after the fact, but these are screenshots of how things actually looked in the live market. So, this is here. You can just see my math. This one right here. Took out the second micro right there. And then from there, boom. At this point, watching it there. And if we scroll down, right here. So at this point, we ended up getting bagged and tagged. If we would have let this last micro run, it would have hit, and that would have been a 3R for that 1 micro. But as you can see here, I ended up getting stopped out right here because this was an order block at the time when I had this here. That's why I moved my stop right on this level. And as a result, I ended up getting stopped out. But overall, still a great day. Trade ended up being 1.83%. So, not too bad. But yeah.
So today is March 25th, 2025. After talking to my coach, after sending him over that trade, what he told me was that was obviously a great trade, good trade idea. However, he said that this trade is something that he said moves like these in the long run are going to end in more losses than winners long term. Because if you look back, if you were to replay the video there, the market in that section was very choppy. So there's really no clear direction. So even though the trade ended up going in my favor, it was considered to be higher risk. And the reality is we're trying to take high probability setups. So even though it ended up working in my favor today, to a degree, it was probably just luck. Because over the long term, if I were to just split test, if I were to just back test this, which I plan on doing it, but if I were to just back test just trading in a choppy market, you're going to lose more often than you're going to win. Even though today was like a really big, this was a really big trade. I mean, the plan was obviously to get get a 3R trade. But just what I learned for me about myself is what I've really been starting to learn while doing this is that I really am starting to understand more and more the importance of psychology. Because, realistically, these are some of the best trades I've ever placed in my life. And don't get me wrong, I have learned a lot of things to help me have a better narrative of what the market's doing, and I have a far better understanding of daily bias than I did even a week ago. And I will continue to get better. But with that being said, though, what I've been really learning is it's really just about the power of psychology. Because I've been hearing for all the longest time, all these amazing traders are like, psychology, psychology, psychology. They're like, my trading psychology is messed up. My trading psychology is messed up. And I'm starting to understand this more and more, because the reality is you can backtest a strategy 100 times, 1,000 times, and it can work in the market when things like, money isn't on the line. You don't actually have to wait for a setup. If you don't have a setup that day, you can just skip and go to the next day. But when you're in real life and you're sitting in front of your computer for 2-3 hours and there's no setup, you have to have the discipline to leave your computer. But what I noticed, I think what was probably happening is in the past is this would be my notion. I'd be like, I have to take a trade every day. It's like, I've already sat in front of my computer for an hour and 30 minutes. Who cares if the market's about to close at 12 o'clock and we're about to go to New York lunch? I got to get in something. And then from there, I'll just get out after. And that sounds so obvious. Like, we all know not to do that. But that's really why I decided to take this huge step back, because I realized that my psychology was messed up. It's like every single time, I heard ICT talk about this. He said if every single time you're in a trade, you're looking at the dollar amount, hoping and praying that's going to keep on going up, he said you need to close a position. Because trading is not one of those things that you can hope and pray it works out. You have to be logical. Because over the long period of time, you not being logical is going to be what's going to cause you to lose money. From my personal experience. I'm not saying that's true, but I'm just saying I found that to be true. And I think today was a perfect setup. I think today was a perfect example, because today, this trade, since I've been just forward testing and not having actual money on the line, like there is no, I don't get anything for winning this stuff, because, I'm not trading on an account, I'm not trading on a live account, I'm not trading on a prop firm account. I have nothing to gain from winning these trades other than just building more confidence in myself and being taught what happens when I just stay disciplined. Because I think today is a perfect example. Like, for example, today, if I would have held the trade, it would have been 3R. So instead of making, with how much I would have risked, instead of making 1.83%, I would make 3% on this trade, which is quite substantial. So just to do simple math, that means if I were to have a $50,000 account, and then from there I would have risked $500, and instead of making about 1,000, I would have made 1,500. And a lot of people, and myself included, that extra $500 is pretty substantial. But despite that, I still stuck to my rules, because the reality is I know I'm actually trading. I like the idea of trading partials. I would rather take a partial than a full loss any day. So that's exactly what I did here. If I was in the video there, at structure, taking a partial, then another one. And then I'm letting the last one run all the way up to the very top. And I was saying periodically moving my stop. So yeah, that was today's trade review. And yeah, I'll keep on pumping these out as needed. So yeah, hope you found this insightful. By the way, I was gonna say too, earlier in the video, I accidentally I was saying $5 per point instead of $2 per point, because I didn't realize I was trading on MNQ and not MES. That's why, the math was obviously wrong. So please give me some grace in the comments. But overall, the whole point is the thought process was the same. So I'm learning a ton since joining this mentorship. And I look forward to keeping you guys posted, and look forward to seeing you guys on the top of that Top Step leaderboard. I'll see you soon.